Ndị be anyị ndewonu. Ọ bụ Ada Igbo na-ekwu na Igbo Media. N'Igbo Media, anyị na-ewetara unu ọtụtụ ozi gbasara ihe na-emegasị na Biafraland, n'ala Igbo na mba ndị ọzọ. N'ụbọchị nke taata, o nwere ihe bịara n'iru akwụkwọ anyị nke anyị ga-agụpụtara unu n'ụbọchị taa. Anyị gụpụtachaa ya, unu egee ya ka ọha n'uju. Ị ga-esie ya, ị drọpụọla your comment, like kwa this our video and gbasakwa ya ka o ruo ụmụnna anyị n'ebe dị iche iche arụ. Ozi anyị wetara unu tata si n'aka otu nwanne anyị nwoke, a Biafra activist. Dịka o si wedara ya ozi a n'iru akwụkwọ, ọ dere sị: breaking news, serious celebration hits Biafraland as global power recognized Usbg endorsed by American government as Nigerian government under panic. Ya bụ ozi ka anyị ji wee bịa tata na Igbo Media. Ị ga-esi ya bụ ozi, gbaa mbọ gwa anyị chere ma mekwa ka ozi a rute ụmụnna anyị n'ebe dị iche iche aka. Ngwa gere ya ka ọha n'uju.
Based on the information before me here, allegedly, and I would like you to see this clip, while you also share it for others to see, because on this clip you will see the international lawyer of nnamdi, Mazi Bruce Finn, right at the side of the president of USA. Some people were before, this man don't have level, he cannot reach anywhere. We have a lobbyist who say his name is Elias, that don't even know road to White House, whether road there is 5 or 6 or 7, but every day he's on the live insulting Biafrans. Bruce Finn, if you don't know, is also a lobbyist under nnamdi, and he knows inside and outside of White House, Washington DC. He don't make noise. You rarely see him online. Anyway, let me allow you to see this clip. When we come back, then we discuss more. Please like, share, comment, and subscribe. Oh yeah.
The president of the most powerful nation in the world just made a declaration and an endorsement that will significantly impact the USB movement. Yes. So the question here is, what is that declaration coming from the USA? Well, just in case you don't know, the president of the USA has approved and endorsed the USB embassy that was built in Washington DC. Yes, so in this video I'll be exposing and revealing every single thing that's happened behind the scenes and every other thing that happened before the president of the most powerful nation in the world had no choice but to approve and endorse the USB embassy. Yes, this is going to be a very, very informative and interesting video, and I'll urge you to watch it up until the very, very end. So let's begin. Well, so how did the president of the USA get to see or understand the USB embassy that he just recently approved and endorsed? Well, it all kick-started on the 6th of November of 2024 last year, when Mr. Simon, who happens to be the Prime Minister, came out to make a very, very serious revelation. Well, showing right now on your screen is a post coming from his official Twitter page where he states, breaking: the Nigerian government officially wrote to the president of the USA so as to distance himself from my agitation for freedom. They actually advertised myself to the president. Yes, so as you can see, a series of individuals reported Mr. Simon to the sitting president of the USA so that he can distance himself from him and never endorse him in any way, shape or form. Well, showing right now on your screen is a particular example of an individual, a core member of the All Progressive Congress, who in a post called the attention of the president of the USA so that he can disassociate himself with Mr. Simon. Well, the plans of these individuals domiciled in the All Progressive Congress did not actually work to their plan. Yes, because something happened in reverse. Yes, something that many individuals weren't expecting at that point in time. So what really happened? Let me show this to you. Take a look at this post coming from Mr. Simon, where he claimed, breaking: I briefed the president of the USA campaign team on how the Nigerian terrorist state unalive many USB citizens who were celebrating his victory in 2016, and the message synced very well. So as you can see, this is a tweet coming from Mr. Simon where he claimed that he has briefed the campaign team of the sitting president of the USA regarding some situations that happened in Nigeria back in 2016. A couple of days later, we saw a video that went viral on all social media platforms, where an individual representing the USB movement met with the campaign teams of President Trump so as to brief them and give them insights about the current situation in the southeastern Nigeria. Yes, so as you can see, we have this individual representing the USB movement having a series of conversations with foreigners domiciled in the USA, particularly in Washington, D.C. Yes, in that said meeting, Mr. Simon openly supported the sitting president of the USA in his quest on becoming the president of that nation. Yes, so Mr. Simon told the whole wide world that Mr. Trump is the only individual and the only candidate in the US presidential elections that can actually take USA to the next point and to the next level. He came out openly and shared his views and opinions regarding the USA presidential elections. Yes. A couple of days later, Mr. Simon dropped a tweet that gave us more clarity and better understanding on what happened in that meeting, where an individual representing the USB had to meet with the campaign teams of Mr. Trump. Well, showing right now on your screen is this actual tweet or post where it states, "I was among the first international politicians as the Prime Minister of the USB government to endorse the sitting president of the USA, and it will go in the stamp of history." Yes, so Mr. Simon happens to be the very first politician, international politician, to publicly endorse the sitting president of that nation. Yes, even Wikipedia had to record that feat. Yes, Wikipedia, which happens to be one of the biggest websites in the world, recorded the fact that Mr. Simon is the very first international politician to endorse the sitting president of the USA before their presidential elections. So this singular act of Mr. Simon drew the attention of Mr. Trump. Yes, so the president of the USA noticed that this man, Mr. Simon, a man from Nigeria and Finland, was so interested in his quest on becoming the president, and that sent some green lights to the current president of the USA. But before then, on the 26th of November of 2022, 3 years ago, we received a publication from Daily Post where it states Igbos inaugurate USB house in United States of America and give reasons. So as you can see, individuals from the USB inaugurated a house known as the USB house in America. Yes, showing right now on your screen is a picture recorded from that particular day and time where some individuals representing the USB came together, paid for an apartment and made it the USB official house. And at that point in time, that house wasn't recognized as an embassy. It was just like a meeting point for individuals and officials under the USB movement. Well, for better understanding and for more clarity, take a look at this post where it states Igbos residing in the USA have inaugurated the USB house in Oxon Hill in Maryland, Washington, D.C. Daily Post gathered that the USB house was inaugurated to serve people who believe in the USB and friends of the nation. This was authoritatively disclosed to Daily Post by a source. And interestingly, that USB house in Oxon Hill in Maryland, Washington, D.C. is just 19 minutes drive away from the White House domiciled in Washington, D.C. Yes, so showing right now on your screen is a clear description of the distance between the USB house and the White House domiciled in that country. As you can see, these two institutions were actually very close to each other. It was just 19 minutes drive from White House to the Oxon, Maryland house. Yes, so the proximity of this Igbo house in Washington, D.C. and the White House still in Washington, D.C. gained massive attention from politicians domiciled in the American politics. Yes, well, that wasn't all. On the 26th of August of 2023, 2 years back, we received a publication yet again from Daily Post where it states, Simon, the USB government in exile opens administrative office in the USA. It also went a step further to clarify that the USB government says it has opened an administrative office in Maryland, Baltimore, USA. The Prime Minister of that movement, known as Mr. Simon, disclosed this on Saturday on his official X handle. He said the office would boost the quest for the USB liberation and referendum. Yes, so as you can see, at this point in time, the USB already had two houses in Washington, two houses in the USA. One was located at the Baltimore, Maryland, and the second one was located in Oxon Hill, still in Maryland, Washington, D.C. This was a strategic move made by Mr. Simon. Yes, and just in case you don't know, this Baltimore, Maryland house was actually 1 hour drive away from the White House. Showing right now on your screen is a clear satellite image of the distance. So as you can see, it's just 1 hour drive away from each other. So fast forward to the 25th of February 2025. The Deputy Prime Minister of the movement, known as Ngozi Orabueze, met with an individual known as Elias Gerasulis. Yes, showing right now on your screen is a publication coming from Mr. Simon that gave more insight where it states the USB lobbyist Elias Gerasulis and the USB Chief of Staff Dr. Ngozi Orabueze are the headquarters of the USB lobbyist firm in Washington, D.C. Yes, so Ngozi Orabueze met with this individual at Washington, D.C. to have conversations about the USB and also to turn all the USB houses in Washington to an embassy. So yeah, these guys had a series of conversations and they came to an understanding, and all of the documents were presented to an institution known as the U.S. Department of Justice. Yes, so this guy submitted a series of documents and letters to this particular group seeking permission to make the USB a nation and to make its houses an embassy. Yes, well, showing right now on your screen is a document retrieved where we can clearly see the fact that Mrs. Ngozi Orabueze wrote to the U.S. Department of Justice requesting for a series of agendas to be made. Yes, the very first one is to make the USB a sovereign nation and also to make it a country of its own. And the second one was very, very simple: make our houses an embassy. Yes. So interestingly, a couple of days back, we received a notification that states, breaking, Department of Justice registers and recognizes the USB as a foreign nation and its cabinet members. We are no longer an agent organization. We are a nation with all the laws protecting a nation. Yes, this was a massive one for the USB movement. At the same time, as we speak, the USB house located in Oxon, Maryland is currently being transformed so as to occupy the office of the USB embassy in USA, Washington, to be precise. So as you can see, this is a massive one for the USB movement, and this is a massive one for the Quest. Kudos to the sitting president of the USA in making this dream come to reality, and kudos to these lawyers standing or seated very close to the president of the USA, because these guys played massive role in ensuring the sovereignty of the USB. Anyways, if this is your first time seeing our videos, do well to subscribe and turn on post notifications, because here we discuss recent happenings and updates from all parts of the world. Yes, so if you want to be among the very first individual to catch our next update, do well to subscribe and turn on post notifications. Thanks.
When we told you that USB government is working, some people may not understand. I don't want to let the cat out of the basket. If not, I would have told you people the connections between the government of USB and the original lobbyist from nnamdi Kanu. But let me just keep it in suspense until when the time is right, so that the idiots will not infiltrate the person that is working. So let me put it on that. I be wori hele ka na ekwu internet mana igwa uke weziokwu nwoke anya a na-akpọ that's international representative of Ogai is working with the government of the day.
Ngwanu dalo nine no ụmụnne m dịka si na-esere n'Igbo media. Gịnị kunu nwere ikwu na nkọwa nke unu gbasata maka ihe unu n'iru akwụkwọ n'ụbọchị uhuruchi nke taa? Gwa ya ife iche n'ụdị nke gị, deela ya n'akara kọmentị ka mara ihe i chere, ma chetakwa tụsa ya bụ ozi ka o were ụmụnne anyị ndị ọzọ ntị. Ndewo na ụmụnne m, ka emesịanụ.